It's dark, it's cold, it's Bathurst, it's an alien grid. Let's have a look at the ATK Pro Series finale. We get off to a nice start, carefully into turn 1, staying close to the inside. And coming onto the mountain straight, I've pretty much kept my position, but Savolainen has gone wide in turn 1 and has dropped right beside me. Now, despite him being an absolute beast, I try to take the opportunity to go around him, giving him as little space as possible in quarry, but there's just nowhere near enough grip on the outside, and I fall back in line behind him. End of lap 1, I've survived the mountain section without damage, but we can't have that, so I forget where the track ends and give the wall a little smack. That brings McCole into the equation, and actually side by side with me down the Conrad Straight, but I'm determined to redeem myself, so through an absolute miracle, we both survive going through Conrad Corner side by side, and I do manage to get back in front around the outside of the chase. A lap later, things have calmed back down, so one of the frontrunners takes a quick nap in one of the walls and hands me P4, how nice of him. Now, for a while I was actually confident I'd be able to keep up with Savolainen in front of me, but that illusion was soon shattered and I was just trying to stay away from the two behind me. Also, it's lap 4, so it's time for my regularly scheduled date with the wall. Here's a good opportunity to mention that the track temperature was just barely above freezing and the track was unbelievably slippery, so every single lap was inches away from death, and despite the lack of battles in the middle of the race, I was certainly not getting bored. But late in the race something worrying happened. McCole once again got in front of Apple, and with that right behind me, and he definitely was the faster driver by that point. And what's a reasonable reaction to that? That's right, push even harder than before and understeer into the wall. So McCole was once again right on my ass, but crucially, he'd gotten a 5-second penalty for his overtake on Apple. Technically, that meant I could let him pass without issue, but that would likely lose me enough time to also give Apple a chance, so I wasn't gonna let that happen. And so we have 2 laps to go. I'm pushing my dying tires to the limits, and that's when I spot it. The dreaded back marker. But he was more than 2 seconds ahead, and we'd only just started the mountain section, so nothing to worry about, right? Now, a few corners later, we were right on the back of him, and this throws a huge unknown variable into our battle. But somehow, it worked out in my favor. The backmarker was a cool guy who moved aside before Forrest's elbow, so I set myself up for the best possible exit onto the Conrad Straight, and McCole, well, he hit the wall, which put Apple back behind me, but now with a 1-second gap. So on the final lap of the race, all I had to do was keep the gap above roughly half a second and not crash. And that's exactly what I did, to finish the final race of the season in P4. But man, that was a stressful way to finish P4. Anyway, if you want to see more of this stuff, check out my Twitch channel in the description. See ya!